Hi guys, and ladies. Sorry, I know there's a lot of women now in the magical entertainment business, and Lucy Darling, I'm a big fan of hers. So, anyways, I wanted to thank you so much for purchasing my card case. I was shocked, actually, at how well this did. As many of you know, I only make 6 of anything up at a time, and that helps me with my quality control and all that neat stuff. I have nightmares of back in the day when we were trying to do, several hundred of one thing for some of the magic distributors that I used to sell for when I was a younger man. Anyways, I listed them last night on between eBay and Facebook, and was astonished this morning to wake up and find that they were completely sold out. So thank you again so much for your support, your just remembering Arlen Studio and me. It's humbling. It really is humbling. And I so much appreciate that. All right. So this is the tutorial for the Cigarillo card case. And we're going to get into that. So let me push this whole situation down here so we can see what we got going. Okay, let's see. Can we see all that? I just have recently, at my old age, figured out how to do this video stuff. So bear with me here. I think this is my 3rd or 4th tutorial. So here's what you get. Let's turn this over. This is a brown one, by the way. This is what the brown one looks like. These are off the market card cases, which you can get. And if you're interested in the link to where you can get these, they're relatively inexpensive. I order these because they are the perfect fit for a card. And then I painstakingly modify them. They generally come with these clip thingies that go over to keep your cigarettes and so forth in line. And so I take those and then I modify them with the cool little graphic on them. If you guys are interested, I can put your initials on the back. I'm getting ready to do that for a couple of my buddies here who ordered these last night. So yeah, it's a simple scenario card case. And if you do want one that's modified or that's unmodified that looks like this, so you can hand it out even more, I'm happy to make one of those up for you too. Again, I know my stuff's not cheap, but then again, I take a lot of time and effort to make sure that everything you get is of a superior quality. One of the reasons I got into making magic early on is because so many items looked great in the advertisement or on the video or whatever, and when you got them, it was like, oh, that's not good at all. So anyways, my time is calculated accordingly along with the materials, and so there you go. That's why I charge what I charge and how I come up with that price. Here's what you get. Let's see here. Make sure you guys are all. You get a insert, and you will notice that this insert is almost like a little tray. You see, it's got a bevel on each of the 4 sides, okay? The card case, you will notice on this side, when you open it, there's nothing on the back unless you want me to put your initials there down the road. This side, when it is opened, okay, you'll have to remember, this side has more magnets on it. The pull is much greater because this little case, or excuse me, this little insert here has to go face down so that the bevel that's coming up towards you can create that little void or that little pocket that we need to be able to hold a larger load, like a silk, or if you're going to change cards, a big stack of cards or what have you. And that way, when you close it, on the other side, you'll notice that the magnets are, because it's closer down, when you open it back up, the case gets pulled down nice and snug here, okay? And I am including these cool little tweezers. Yours will be black because I like black. They just haven't gotten here yet. They'll be here today. And you just come in like so. Oops, got my hand in the way. Come in like so with your tweezers and just lift up, and that will bring up your insert, okay? So what I have done, now I originally created these card cases to go with my Ace, well, they used to be called the Ace and Silk Chambers, but then I went to the flutes, and so now they are the Silk to Flush Flutes. And I came up with these years ago. I've been making these for a number of years now, so that they would be a nice, classy alternative to do that cards to silk, production. With the Ace and Silk Flutes, you do get the gimmick card case. It's a bicycle card case. You can get those in blue or red. And I'm happy to sell you just one of these too if you want. It's just a simple flap scenario, but it's so very, very effective. I don't know who came up with the idea. I know I'm not the first one to, so whoever you are, kudos to you. Here's your historical reference. And just by holding it, once you engage it open like that, just by holding it, you can keep the flap from going. And then also when you're doing this, when you want to keep it down, you can just kind of push the side tabs in, and that'll keep it from prematurely popping, so to speak. So there you go. And then when you open it, all you gotta do is disengage those flaps, and it just does its thing. So what I do, what I did in the demo is, here we go, I just rolled, actually I didn't even roll it up, and what I didn't do in the demo, and I'm going to go back I think and redo it, is you should actually put your spare cards in here already, okay? So they're hidden behind the flap, like so. Sorry you guys are getting more of a tutorial than you bargained for here, because I don't even include these with the Cigarillo case, but I want you to understand that there's a lot of different alternatives and so forth. And if you want just one of these cases without the card flutes, I'm happy to sell you one of those as well. Just PM me. Okay, so in the video I did this whole deal where I stuffed the silk down and like so, and you want it to just kind of be in there like that, and then when you come back like this and are closing it up, here I'll do it so you can see it. So you were closing it up, you just kind of want to do that, and that way when you push those down like so, they will hold that up, and then you can close that, and that'll keep it all ready to go. So that way when you do the production over here of your other red silk, and you come over like so, and all you've got to do is just pinch the sides down so the flap doesn't come up prematurely, and grab those dealy wompers, and just, there you go. And so you're good to go, and then you'll see that it will engage. It's always good to stuff that way down in there when you do it, and that way you can show everybody that it's in there. And then when you go like that, and you just hold it, if you keep your angles kind of down onto the table, you'll see it just kind of blends in. You can flash the inside a little bit. You don't want to flash it too much because it is obviously at a tilt in there, because, we haven't figured out actually how to do real magic. And there you go. So that's how that works, just in case you're interested in one of those. And now I haven't come up with a price for these individually, but I'm not going to charge you an arm and a leg for them. Okay. And I'm also happy to teach anybody or tell anybody how to make one of those. It's not that big of a deal. And I'm not so greedy that I don't mind sharing a little bit. Okay, so let's get back to this puppy. Again, this side here with the cool little metallic looking vinyl graphic or whatever you want to call it, that lets you know that this is the stronger magnet side, and that is what's going to support, let's call this the tray, okay? So that's what's going to support your tray, okay? And the reason that it's a little stronger polarity or pull on that side is because of the distance from the metal to the magnets, because of, and then of course because you've also got your load in there, and it will give you, this is a 12-inch silk, by the way, and you're going to want to use a silk, not some really thick piece. You need to use the really nice little silks. I know there's a number of magic shops where you can get these in any color you want, just about, and they're nice and vibrant and beautiful. So you'll have to provide your own silk there. So there you go. So you've got your silk in like so. Again, the tray part facing down, you just kind of go in like so. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. And there it is. And because it's black, it's not, it doesn't really show too much that this is up a little bit more than this side. And I don't really think that matters. I think people would just assume that's just to help keep your cigarettes or whatever in place. And because of the magnets, you've got a pretty good, pretty good pull there, unless you do that. Okay, but there you go. Okay. And what I like to do, we'll fold this puppy back up again. There you go. Put him in there. So there we go. All right. So there you go. So there's your magnets holding him in place. Okay. Now, I have found that I like to make things strong enough to hold at least a poker hand, which is generally 5 cards, unless you're playing some weird, San Diego Scooby-Doo where everything is wild, including the instruction cards. So you've got your 5 straight flush here. You put that puppy in like so. Oh, also something that I want to go over before we do that part is how to keep this closed without this side engaging into this side. Now, I don't smoke cigarettes, or actually I don't smoke anything anymore. But so I made these little rolls up like so. You can put your cigarettes in here. Or some cigarillos, get some little cool fancy cigars, because generally that doesn't make you look so weird to a lot of people if you got cool fancy cigars in here. I would recommend putting more than just 4 in here, but for our purposes right now, this should do just fine. And the more you have in here, the better and less likely you are to engage the mechanism. So put your business cards in there if you like, whatever. And so you don't want a lot of space between the magnets on this end and that end, because it wants to pull them, wants to pull them down. So you put and you can, make it close and so forth, and then open it up. And that way you're not already engaging, okay? So then you just want something thick, between this and this. So put a ton of your business cards in there, cigarillos, matches, whatever you can fit in this little compartment to give yourself some distance. Because once you throw your cards in there and close it, You can even hand it to your spectator or what have you, and they will open it to find that it has changed to your silk, your business cards. You can turn your cards, throw a king or whatever, a couple of cards in there, and they'll turn into your business cards. Kind of an interesting way to hand out your business cards and so forth. And you'll see that the holds pretty good, and you are good to go. I wouldn't let them, totally inspect it, because people in this day and age generally have a tendency to want to tear things apart. But, you can casually, hey, check it out. Now, again, take your tweezers, come over here like so, and don't force it. It should come up pretty easy. This is a pretty, it's pretty stable. Try not to bend it, and try not to get too crazy with it, because it is basically, I think, 0.005 metal shim that I make these out of, and I have to custom bend them with the pliers, and then I have to velvet them and do all that neat stuff to them. But it works pretty good. It keeps it thin enough to be able to do what we need to do, providing you with enough of a load on that side to be able to do your vanish. And again, you can hand it out to them, and boom, you will see that now the cards are vanished. It's a great little vanisher too. I personally like the idea because of the void that you've created over here with the tray. I don't know that I've ever seen that done before, but I'm not so narcissistic that I would take credit for it. I find that when you start taking credit for stuff, somebody's going to come along and say, oh no, I made that in 1912. Anyways, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. That is the tutorial for the Cigarillo card case. And again, I so much appreciate you guys supporting me and this project, along with all my other projects. Keep an eye on my Facebook page. I'm just regular old Keith Lack, Jefferson, Texas there, if you want to friend me there. Arlen Magic Studio on .com on eBay if you want to follow the auctions. Well, they're not really auctions. I don't do the auctions. It's sometimes I'll throw something up from the show Cabinet of Curiosities that I did, that because I'm trying to downsize, and I'll let it go to auction. But usually it's the price is the price. I'm getting to the point where I don't want to negotiate anymore, and at 61 years old, I'm kind of pretty much retired. And I just, we have a little small animal rescue we're trying to get up and running. So really that's where all of these proceeds are going. So again, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Have a magical day.